it's now a full-fledged St. Louisan,
Yes.
since he is marrying a St. Louis girl later this summer. Mike,
January.
January.
Let's not give her any
well,
ideas.
since I wasn't invited, I don't know the exact date. You are director of communications for the Show Me Institute, and Governor Greitens called a special session for what? And it passed, right? It's now sitting on his desk.
Yeah, it was down in the southeast part of the state. Now, this does impact St. Louis in a big way. But in the southeast part of the state, there was a shuttered kind of aluminum smelting plant, processing plant. And what they wanted to do is there's a company that says, hey, we want to open this thing. We're going to hire 400 or 500 people or
But
so.
we don't know who the company is.
We don't. No. Tony Messenger over at the Post-Dispatch was reporting that they said that it was a company from India. That may very well be. The big problem there is that they are asking for this great big, essentially, subsidy, because what they wanted was the company says, hey, we don't want to pay the same utility rates as everybody else.
I don't either.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you. Precisely. And so they wanted a law that allowed the Public Service Commission to
Give
negotiate.
them a special rate.
Yeah, give them a special rate. But if you read the bill, what it also said is that Ameren has the right to recoup the losses of that revenue by what? Raising rates on the rest of us.
Yes.
So if you're an Ameren customer, and everybody who's an Ameren customer around here, raise your hand. That would be me.
Right.
We're going to pay more rates. We're going to pay more for our bills at some point in order to subsidize this.
Now, this made it through the House and the Senate.
It did.
And it was very contentious at times.
Absolutely. Because what you've got is, now I get it from the southeast part of the state's perspective. First of all, you've got jobs. There's going to be a real big ribbon cutting. Everybody gets to take a victory lap. I completely understand that. This is also a very, very poor area. I mean, just poverty throughout this entire part of the southeast corner of the state. So I really get it. I understand that. And, you know, let's just say we're really, really skeptical. 400 to 500 jobs in this area is going to be huge. Here's the thing that bothers us is, okay, first of all, if it's that great of a place to do business there.
Right.
Utility bills are part of doing business. That's just part of your overhead. But what's the deal that's been made now is that everybody who is in Ameren's territory, we are now really indirectly, maybe, possibly you could even say directly, subsidizing this. So we're paying for these jobs, and all we get is higher utility bills.
And what about other companies that say, your energy bills are high. We don't want to go there. We're a medium-sized company in St. Louis or St. Charles or somewhere. Boy, our rates are a little higher.
Do it too.
Let's go to Illinois. Let's go to Kansas. Let's go somewhere else because our rates are higher.
Yeah, and yeah, those are the unseen consequences. You know, I mean, if you're an economics geek, you say, wait a minute, Henry Hazlitt wrote about this in the broken window theory. Hey, we got a job here, but that means money didn't go somewhere else.
Right.
What about other companies who want to follow suit with this other company?
Why wouldn't you try?
Right.
I mean, why not?
Really interesting that it wasn't able to get through the regular legislature, but they were able to get it through the special session. What was the difference in the special session?
During the regular session, you had, I think, a lot of the state senators in their conflict with the governor. And in this one, the governor said, by special session law, this is the topic you're going to deal with. You're not allowed to do anything else. You can't add other topics into the session. The governor says, we're going to deal with this particular issue, nothing more, nothing less. That's all the law allows him to do on this.
And I mean, they didn't have to pass it.
Correct.
They could have not come to a resolution on it.
They could have said no.
What was the vote in the Senate? Was it close?
No.
So it was overwhelmingly
it was
in favor of the governor.
both of them, in both houses.
Now, the other thing, too, is that the governor used his, well, how do I want to say this phrase correctly? The group that is closely tied to the governor, but the governor said he has no connection to, but is run by all of his people, lobbied and sort of, I don't want to say bullied, but was very forthright in their opposition to anyone who voted against this bill.
Yeah, and personally attacking. It's that scorched earth approach to politics that, I mean, it's not new to politics, but this particular approach using social media and attacking people personally, yeah, that's new. And that group also paid for people to be bussed in from all over the state to come to these rallies during right before the special session to lobby for this bill. But yeah, even though it's senior advisors to the governor who also run this group, they tell us that there's zero communication between the two offices. So I'll just leave it at that.
So what you're saying is that, congratulations, they called a special session and they raised everybody's electric rates.
Yeah, except for the company from out of the country that is going to be benefiting from it.
Mike Ferguson, Director of Communications for the Show Me Institute. Where can we read more about this stuff?
ShowMeInstitute.org.
There you go. Mike Ferguson, thanks for coming in.
Anytime.
7:56.